Today we are testing the Vortex Pro Plus fan and cooler. So today's review is going to cover the design, the performance, the noise, the heating, the cooling, and the value for money. We're going to be looking at all aspects of the product, and let's get unboxing. So to unbox, and as soon as I've done the unboxing, I will come back and continue the video. This is the product just out of the box. You can see on the right there's the stand and the fan itself, the plug and the remote and the instructions, and the batteries are actually included, so we're ready to go. So as we set up the fan, the very first thing we need to do is put the base plate onto the actual unit. So you can see there's two grooves here, there, to here, and logic will say that you just slot it in. I'm gonna try and do this one hand while I'm working the phone, and you just turn it clockwise. It's probably not gonna work while I'm doing it with the phone, so I'm gonna pause and get it done. So yeah, it does actually take two hands to do it, but one hand to hold the fan stable, the other hand to sort of turn it clockwise, and then that's it, it's done. And if we stand up the unit, you can now see in its entirety, and it actually looks really nice. But we'll get going further into the instructions. It literally says the cool mode and how to operate it, and then it goes into the hot mode, the principle of the air outlet and inlet. So the air actually goes in from there and out from there. And then it's got the cooling down period. So once the fan is on hot mode and then you turn it off, it will stay on for a little while, just until it cools down and it sort of disperses that hot air that's left in the machine. And then you've got the direction of travel. So this actually turns all the way almost 90 degrees, not quite. And then it turns, so if you had it on a higher shelf and you wanted to put it down, you can. It's really easy to do that. It shows how to clear blockages, goes into cleaning, replace and remove the battery, and then safety information, basically stuff that you shouldn't really be doing. So that's the instruction manual. Going back into the usage, you can see the display panel here. So I'll turn it on, and you can see that the display reads 1. And then this controls the speed. So obviously at 10 you're going to get a lot more cool breeze than you would at 1, and then this right here is the oscillation. So this sort of turns. Did I stop it turning or did I start it turning? Yeah, it's turning. So you can see it's turning there. And then brilliant, I've stopped it right on the logo, or almost there. But the display is very, very clear, very, very bright, and that can also be controlled with the remote. So now we're going to use the remote to actually turn it off, because it's blowing a lot of air on me. And then that's off. So all I did is just literally switch it off. It is also worth noting that there is no Wi-Fi on this unit, so you can't really control it with your phone or have it hooked up to any smart home automation systems. But with a fan, not really sure if you need Wi-Fi, so that's actually fine. But if you are comparing this to Dyson, you got to ask yourself, is the extra sort of £200-300 worth Wi-Fi support? I'm not sure it is. Onto the cooling function. So the cooling function works really well. As soon as you turn the fan on, you can feel, put it to oscillating. So I've literally just turned it on, and then I'll put it to oscillating. Focus on the remote. There we go. And I'll put it to oscillating, and it's gone out of focus. So now what I want to do is I want to increase the speed. So I'm going to press this, or can I press this? Yeah. So if you press minus until it goes, oops, okay, so it's just literally turned it off. So I thought it would go to 10, but that's actually a good lesson to learn. So 10. And oscillate. Right, so this air actually feels really smooth, it feels really consistent. It doesn't feel like it's buffeting, it doesn't feel like it's juddering like a traditional fan. At the same time, it's not an air conditioner, so it's not going to actually bring the temperature of the room down, but it is going to rotate that air, it's going to sort of circulate that air, and the air that's actually coming from the unit feels very cool. It feels almost like an air conditioning air. That's a little bit more icy, but this feels legitimately cool. It feels nice. Now, when we're in the middle of a heat wave, this is going to be really, really pleasant. It's going to be one of those things that you definitely need. I've got a max temperature, right? You can see it's on 10, but you can still hear me, hopefully, quite clearly. Now, that also means that you can sleep in this. I can sleep in this. I could easily sleep in this. It's not noisy enough that it's going to disturb me or not let me go to sleep. I will fall asleep quite easily in this. So yeah, the cooling feature, really, really good. I will also give that a 9 out of 10. Right, so moving on to the next aspect of the fan heater, the cool and hot of the Vortex Pro Plus 2025 model is the heating element. So in the previous Vortex fans, you can heat a room, but there was only heating and cooling. Now you've got the cooling and then the heating, and the heating gives you a much more precise temperature control. So anything from 16 all the way up to 37 degrees Celsius. So to turn the heater on, and I've just had it on again just while I was getting my content ready for the video, and if I can get it. So turn the fan on, perfect. And now we're going to change this into heating mode, and that's at 21 degrees. So we're going to crank that up to 37. So you can see that's 37 there, and the 21 which you saw is the current temperature. And then once you've got the heating going, come on, get in focus. Once you've got the heating going, you can use the fan to adjust. So that's H1, H2, H3. So that's the fan which is used by the heater to emit the hot air. And again, let's get that oscillating. And oh wow, okay, so it's already really, really warm. And this is going to replace a traditional heater. So if you've got heating in your office or your living room, bedroom, things like that, yeah, this will easily replace central heating, easily replace your oil-filled heaters and your fan heaters. I really don't like the fan heaters, but I do really like this just because it's really nice, and the warm air isn't overpowering. It doesn't feel unpleasant. It feels nice. And I think within about 5 minutes, an average UK room or an average UK home office will be warm in about 10 minutes. It's not going to sit much longer than that. And again, using the actual fan here, you can point it up, point it down, point it wherever you want it to go, really, and it works really well. So yeah, that's the heating element, which I will give 8 out of 10. So now we're going to go into noise level and power use. In terms of noise level, it's actually 60% more quiet than traditional fans, so that's actually really good. And even at full sort of full speed, which we saw, I'll put it onto cool now because it's got quite warm in here from the heating, but from for the full sort of fan speed, it's still not overpoweringly noisy. It's still not sort of disturbing sleep kind of noisy. If I was watching TV, I'll need to put the TV volume up just a little bit just to hear the dialogue and things like that, but honestly, this is not going to disturb you. So in terms of noise, I will give it a 9 out of 10, just because it's not that noisy for the amount of cool air that you've got coming out of here. So that's really, really good. And for the energy efficiency, it's 1 kilowatt per hour. So it's actually quite manageable for home use. And the fact that it's got a sleep timer also helps. So you could just put it on and go to sleep, have it working for about an hour or two, and that's it. You're not going to be needing to touch it until the next day, until you need it again. So in terms of energy efficiency and the noise, I will give it an 8 out of 10 because it is very energy efficient, and in terms of noise, honestly, there isn't much. Now to grade the safety. The safety of it is, I would say, 9 out of 10. It's bladeless. It's really, really sort of family and pet friendly. There's no, there's nowhere really where you can get hurt from this. The fact that even when it's heating, it's cool to touch is also a bonus, because again, when you've got pets or kids, it is going to get touched. So even when it's on hot mode, you don't really need to worry about it as like you would an open fire or even a sort of a fan heater, a traditional fan heater. So in terms of the safety of it, it's 9 out of 10. So the final verdict, I will say a 9 out of 10. Really like this fan, really like the product. It is ideal for small flats, offices, bedrooms, anywhere you want to sort of have a little bit more cool or a little bit more of a hot environment. It's energy efficient, it's not noisy as other fans and other models. In terms of the actual overall score, that's a good mix of affordability, aesthetics, and performance, because it looks really, really nice. It looks really, really premium, and it performs really premium as well, and that's what I really love about it. And the fact that it is affordable makes this almost a no-brainer. It works really, really well, and honestly, it's a good product. So it's, at the same time, do you know what, it's not an air conditioner, and it shouldn't be used in place of an air conditioner. So you know, there's that. At the same time, for energy conscious users, honestly, this is a really good product. So at the price it's at, I would definitely buy it. I can imagine this being more expensive when it gets to summer, because these things do go like hotcakes. If I were you, I'd buy it in the winter, save a little bit of money, and use it in the winter. And when the summer comes along, you've already got a fan which is really, really good. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've got any questions, and let me know what you'd like me to review next.